Pappa J here. This is probably the hardest video I've ever had to cut. It might even get emotional. Stay tuned. I love Disney. I love Disney. It's been a part of my life, my whole life. I used to be on ABC's Mickey Mouse Club. I used to watch that. I think it was called Magic Kingdom, is where they'd have all their specials. And, I always watched it as a kid. Now, Mickey Mouse wasn't my favorite cat. I was more of a Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner kind of a guy, and I kind of considered Mickey Mouse to be kind of for the girls, but I still watched it. I still enjoyed it. Bought the video games for the Sega and Super Nintendo. In fact, I have them over in my collection right now. They bought Marvel. Marvel has been such a huge part of my life. I don't know if you know this, but I was in a snowmobile accident, to be honest, when I was 13 years old and had my right foot ripped off. They managed to reattach it, and it was like 1981 or 82, and a medical miracle. I didn't lose it. But that's when I discovered Spider-Man. And I read voraciously during recovery, in that year of recovery, all the Spider-Man comic books I could get my hands on. To this day, I have 2,500 comic books in my collection, mostly Marvel. I'm a Marvel guy. DC's alright. Image has its moments, but I'm a Marvel guy. But mostly I'm a Star Wars guy. And I was 8 years old in the theater in June of 77, watching Star Wars. Oh, blew my mind. So amazing. I remember a friend's dad took my friend and me, because we didn't have a lot of money. And I remember him looking over as the droids are entering the escape pod. And he's like, "What do you think?" And I couldn't think of anything to say. I was just like, "It's funny." I don't know, I was blown away. Great experiences, some of my best times in the movie theaters of Star Wars. If you look back in my game room, you'll see that I do collect a lot of Star Wars. It's been a big part of my life, my whole life, since I was 8 years old. What am I talking to you guys about? Well, Lucasfilm fired Gina Carano. And that's fine, it's their choice. I want to lay down the gauntlet. I want to bury the hatchet. Lay down the arms. What she tweeted wasn't that offensive. She's basically comparing how Hitler groomed Germany to hate the Jews, the same way that social media and mainstream media is grooming society to hate the conservatives. And bad things happen after you dehumanize people like that. And that's all that was showing. Was it offensive? I understand where somebody could say it was offensive. I don't think it's that offensive. People say you shouldn't compare anything to Nazi Germany. It's going overboard. A lot of guys in your employ have compared Donald Trump to Hitler. Isn't that just as offensive? If you're going to be offended at that type of thing? I would have to say yes. The only difference is somebody might agree with one and disagree with the other, and therefore one is deemed acceptable and one is deemed too far. It's abhorrent, I believe is the words you use. Both of them are abhorrent. If we're being honest, if we're looking at it subjectively and objectively. If we're looking at it objectively, both are abhorrent. You can't say one is above the pale and the other is below the pale. You can't. They're the same thing. Now, I understand that we have differences of opinions as a content provider, as a customer, as a nation. We all have different opinions. But now the problem comes where one side is silenced and the other side isn't. And that's where it gets dangerous. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you about freedom of speech at the constitutional level, at the government level, and tell you it's the same thing as at the corporate level. Because it's not. If the NFL wants to let Kaepernick kneel, he has that right. If they want to tell him, no, you can't kneel, he doesn't have that right. Because he's working for a corporation and he's on the job. There's a difference between public freedom of speech and corporate freedom of speech. However, functionally, there's not that much difference. And if you start shouting down one side, hiding one side, and promoting the other side as media, as all come together as media and do this and start villainizing one side while praising the other side, that's bad news. Nearly 75 million people voted for Donald J. Trump. And a lot of those guys are your fans. I'm one of them. I voted for Trump. But I'm also your fan. So what am I going to do about it? Why am I here recording this video, telling Disney, Lucasfilm, Marvel, Star Wars? What am I going to do about this? Well, I'm going to call on my conservative allies. I'm going to call on my liberal friends to mimic what I'm going to do. And this is what I'm going to do. Look at this. You think I'm going to quit collecting? I can't. I can't quit expressing my fandom for Star Wars, for Marvel. So I'm going to express it in a way that gives you, Disney, the least amount of money. No longer going to buy the new figures. Oh, don't get me wrong. I got the latest Cara Dune figures. Well, of course I do. She's a great character. You shouldn't have fired her. I got the latest Cara Dune figures, thank God. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to start filling in holes in my back collection. And we all know if you wait 18 months to 2 years and get the money on the get the collections in the aftermarket, overall you're going to save a lot of money. I know that, but I buy them as I see them anyway because I want to support the guys. You know, and I don't want to take a chance of, oops, this one's expensive, and I let it get away, and now I can't afford it. There's always that risk. But just this weekend, I went to a swap mart, flea market. I started going to those. If you watch my videos, I'm sure Disney doesn't, but the rest of you might. You'll know I've been checking out swap marts. And look at this, man. Look at this. 2 versions of Han Solo. Awesome. Black Sirac and a Hoth Rebel Guard. Holes in my collection. At least in that packaging. $20 for all of them. That would get me almost one Black Series figure. 1.5, 3 3/4 inch figures. I got 4 figures right there for $20. And I had a blast doing it. What am I going to do about Disney Plus? See it on the screen here behind me. Well, as of right now, and look, I'm not saying you gotta hire Gina Carano back. I'm not saying Cara Dune has to be a character. I'm not making any demands. I'm just asking that you treat each side fairly. And it's going to happen. There's my Disney Plus. Let's get up here. Scroll down. There's my last 4 on my card. Good luck if you can grab it. Cancel my subscription. Have to cancel it. Let's see. Want a temporary pause my account? Okay, Disney to another provider. Watch billing confusion. Technical. No longer want Disney bundle. Okay, oh, I'd put other. Ooh, they want me to specify. All right. You fired Gina. Continue to cancel. No thanks. Let's cancel. All right. So I've canceled it. So what does this mean? Look, when you put out a movie, I'll be the first in line to see it. I'll be at the premiere show just like I always am. But I'm only seeing it once. Disney Plus, I'll pop in once a year, see what what you guys have done in that year, get caught up. You get 1 month of subscription instead of 12. I'm one guy. You got 94 million subscribers. I get it. You may not give a damn. And I might not blame you. But that's what I'm doing. And hopefully, if enough of us get together and hurt you in your wallet a little bit, maybe it'll bring you to your senses. There's nothing wrong with what Gina posted. There just wasn't. And even if there was, it's on the same level as referring to the United States president as Hitler. Okay? They're on an even playing field. If one's outside the bounds, so's the other. You can't juggle just because you agree with one opinion and don't with the other. But the fact is, Gina shouldn't have been fired. And I'm not saying you bring her back. Hell, she might not want to come back. She's got her own gig going with the Daily Wire. Who knows? But I'll be changing the way I consume your product to ensure you get the least amount of money possible. And you might feel it a little bit, because I'm a huge fan. Hopefully you've watched this to the end. And hopefully I've given you something to think about. If not, we part as friends. Thank you.